There we go. We have started the space in a quiet way. We're not technically going to have a quiet stream today, but I do feel like I would like to talk about the power of coming to a place of quiet in yourself. That's what I've been feeling into this morning. There's a certain power that comes with being quiet. It's very easy for us to say things. Very easy. I had a whole moment yesterday thinking about how easy it is to say things. It's nice having you here as well, Dan. I did see your belt store joke. One of the final leathers. And a swaggered aisle, of course. I had a whole moment yesterday. I don't have to close this. Thinking about how you can just say things. And it came very much from this consideration of almost like being self-congratulatory. Is that a word? Right? Laying it on thick for yourself, with yourself. Convincing yourself that you are something that you might not be. Right? And it very much came to me as this perspective. I was listening to a Psytrance track while I was riding my wheel. And the song is like, I think it's a bootleg-ish, made with the sounds of, I think like some Shiva chants, right? Shivam. And Shiva is a character that I find myself definitely identified with, right? It's a deity, one that destroys and creates. And the way in which he creates and destroys is by dancing. He has a snake around his neck. And has a way of showing up in the world that's very, I would like to say, unapologetic, right? Loud, even, to bring it into today's perspective, all right, of being quiet and the power that that can hold as well. And then I had this whole moment in considering myself as an archetype, as an extension of, as an avatar. Those are some of the words in circulation, some of the words that we'll use. And then I thought about the other little microcosms of people that come together that have had similar thoughts. Maybe there was someone like me who was more vocal in the saying of that's who they are, right? And in proclaiming that they are this thing, this reincarnation of an entity that is ethereal in so many words, right? How some people might believe them, right? Yo, Melt, hey, Kiddy. Some people might believe them to the point where they start, I don't know if worship is the right word, but it could be, where they could be worshipped. And then I thought about how much worship happens, right, in general, to other gods, to all the gods, because people said so. And how you can just say anything. You can just say stuff, right? Nobody really is gonna fact check you in the ultimate sense, right? If you proclaim to the universe that this is what I am and this is how I am, you can do that. What's the topic? The topic is quiet. The topic is quiet. The power of being quiet. And it is directly in contrast with this perspective of the easiness, I think easiness is a good one. It's pretty easy to say things. I can just say, I am a spaghetti monster, technically reincarnated as a human body. Usually I'm spaghetti monster floating out in outer space, but now I'm human being. Right? I don't believe that. But that was a microcosm of the example that I'm trying to make, where you can just say things. You can just say shit. Like I'm a spaghetti monster. Right? And there's just who's gonna tell me I'm not? You don't know. You don't know that I'm not spaghetti monster inside. I could be spaghetti monster inside. You don't know. All right? Right? And then I spent some time, a lot of time, thinking about, again, how much is said and how much is done, how much is changed, how much is experienced, how much is shaped when it comes to our realities based on what people say. And it makes me want to lean into being quiet. All right? That instead of saying as much, I think it should be clear what it is I'm feeling, what it is I'm doing, what it is I'm here for. But there's this weird balance to be reached, between how much I feel the need to say, what I feel the need to say. I think it's especially poignant in today's perspective when it comes to emotional bodies, right? That we had a few conversations about that throughout this week, how your emotions can get you to say things that might not actually be true, might be true in the moment, experientially, but it might not be true ultimately. And how being quiet in that way is more of a truth statement. Uninterpretable, because there's nothing to interpret, right? And how that's a kind of power that you have access to as well, a kind of purity, a kind of understanding that Zoe hasn't reached yet. I believe it, dude. I believe you're a spaghetti monster. After all, you did ask for the spa day, the spaghetti day, of course, recently, and I thank you. I meant to say spaghetti day. Yes, it is me. Tis me, the spaghetti monster that created everything. You're welcome, human beings. I incarnated in this form to come and see how it is on planet Earth. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, this reality. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's on your wrist? Do I have a cool name? Yeah, your name is cool, Kid D. Kitty. Looks like Kitty, but sure. As cool as a kid can be, your name is cool. If I had to stop paying attention to my kid doing cute shit just to come here and give you your day ban, I'm going to be irate. But what did I do? I think it's just a matter of almost like reading the room. Right? What's on your wrist, bro? Which one? I have two devices on my wrists. This one is a Whoop, and this one is a Galaxy Fit 3. That one, thanks. I started playing Subnautica for the first time. Shit's insane. I played Subnautica as well. Yeah, that game. I don't know if you've. I guess if you've just started playing it, I don't know how much you've played, but I do not regret to inform you that it doesn't get any less insane. Yep, I heard that game was fucking nuts. It touches It touches a kind of primordial part of your brain, right? It's like that game genuinely terrified me. Like actually, like that gut wrenching, and it's not even that scary relatively, right? It's just like sea monsters, but there's something in me when I look into the water and I can't see all the way into the water. My mind goes, what could be down there? And then that game, you find what's down there. And what's down there doesn't like you being down there with it. That's all I'll say. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I want the Watch 7, but it's too expensive. Yeah, me too. I also want the Watch 7. I want Watch 8, actually. Unironically. I really do, actually. But this one doesn't not do anything that I want it to do. So the only reason that I'll replace it if it breaks, and it's been going for 2 years. Yep. Nope. It's on its second year now. I got Joe one yesterday, day before yesterday as well. So now she got one too. They cost less than a meal for two in America. That's how we've been gauging, right? How many meals get object you want to get? How many meals could you get for that same amount of money? And then it makes it a lot easier to purchase things. Yeah, you don't need a watch 7. So I'll say to you, kiddie, this one was $40, maybe $47, right? It does everything you want it to. Tells you the time. It's a stopwatch. You can control your media playback. You can up and down your volume. It tracks your heart rate if you wanted to. It can be a remote camera shutter for your phone. Like, what more does one need? A little growing boy. When I was your age, I would have given my teeth to have a watch like this. Since you're still a teenager, I heard that game was nuts. Just a little melt. What are you drinking? I'm drinking coffee. It's terrifying. I'm literally terrified of deep water, but at the same time, I'm addicted. Yeah. Dan knows that I know that Dan knows. Yep, we said it at the same time, Mel. This is a deeply unsettling feeling being in their world. It is unsettling. Melt, what happening? Mitio Martinez. Mato Martinez? Can you watch a YouTube short while live streaming? Sure, I could do that. I do have a secondary devices, but I couldn't watch it on here, no. Where is my secondary devices? I think in the kitchen. Yeah. Bro, I don't drink coffee. Is it okay? That's fine. It's for me, the coffee. It's mine. But I feel like smartwatch is a waste of money. It's like carrying two phones. Yeah, if you have a watch that's so smart that it can take a SIM card and stuff as well, and you can call off of it, it's basically carrying two phones. My watch, the way that I use it primarily, is I now have a little personally designed watch face, which I like. All right, make my own art as my little background, and then I can swipe down, and then I have a little flash. Swipe down, I have a little flash that's bright enough for me to do what I wanted to do, and then if I hit that button, it makes my phone make sounds. So if I have hidden it from myself between the couch cushions, I can find it without having to retrace every single one of my steps 5 times before I do. You don't need an expensive smartwatch. Learn this. Learn this little one. They do eSIM, yeah. Can tell folks about how well they're sleeping and how high their heart rate gets when they yell at folks on the internet. Who sleeps with a watch on? I do. I sleep with both my watches on. Both of them stay on my body at all times. Because when I wake up, and my alarm starts, Instead of having to reach over and find my phone, I can just go, nope. Your mod is agonist me. You bathe with them? You can. Both of these are waterproof as well. You can do that if you wanted to. The watch is very convenient when you have to commute on the subway. I already have a coffee in my hand. I don't want to reach into my pocket to pull out my phone. Sure. That is really first world problems. I'm sorry, I don't know what that was. That was some massive first world problems. But he's right. This one, unfortunately, that's one thing that it can't do. Actually, Dan, is that it doesn't do NFC. Bummer. I think the next one probably will. But it ain't got no NFC, so I can't put my card on it and teeth with my card. You hold your coffee with one hand. Yes. Or maybe he's talking about your other hand is still free, so you can take your phone out. Have you considered that I don't want to? Have you considered that? I don't feel like it's a first world problem when you're so jam packed into a train car like cattle that you literally don't have room to reach in your pocket. That's true. That is true. It's kind of first world problem, technically still, because in South Africa we don't have the infrastructure at all. The infrastructure is old and obsolete. Yeah, in South Africa we have nothing. Right there, we do technically have a train, but it's not very good. It doesn't take you very many places. All right, so still technically, but I get what you're saying. Then I'm pro having a smartwatch. Technically, do you have those? I see. I see our beloved friend is clearing the space. There are no trains in my town. I don't think there is actually trains in this one. Technically, literally, there are trains here, but I think they're mostly. I think the train tracks that I ride next to are mostly just for like scenic routes, not for actual transportation. And then I think there is a like a proper railway that brings in stuff or takes away stuff as well. I hear it. It makes big old loud choo-choos. I don't know if it's really choo-choos, but like train horns. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, true. China, dude, that's where I want to go. Crazy infrastructure. It is nice. Maybe with the current fractal you're pursuing, that might end up being a thing then. I was very much blown away by. Are you really from South Africa? Can you speak Afrikaans? Dog Huga. Ja, ek kan Afrikaans praat. Maar ek weet nie of jy gaan weet wat ek sê nie en of jy gaan weet dat ek actually Afrikaans praat nie. Dit gaan dalk net vir jou klink soos iets wat jy nie kan verstaan nie. Does that satisfy your curiosity? I heard somewhere they build a railway through a building. They did that too. They build railways through buildings, build railways through mountains. There's this one ridiculous shot, right? It's the one that I'm thinking about right now. I feel like it happens here in America as well. I've definitely seen it. But I think in America it's done with a little bit more grace. Train track through a mountain in China. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. It's two photos. Nice. Maybe that is graceful. Maybe I'm just capping. Look at that. And yeah, this is a better photo. Them just like, yes, we're going to cut this mountain basically in half. Put that out there. There's another cool photo. China infrastructure. Look at that big old bridge in the background too. Yeah. China does have a lot of that stuff. Like a lot, a lot. It's a beautiful country too. I really wish I got to see more of its beauty. I was way too stuck doing work things. As soon as I see Gab join us, I'm going to read his dream, give him a proper honoring. He did meant to share it with us yesterday, but it was not possible. Off. Okay, I guess. Death is inevitable. Don't drink alcohols. I feel like you're sending mixed signals, right? It's like if death is inevitable, why shouldn't I drink alcohols? I don't even drink alcohols. I personally despise it. However, you should you should approach your strategy in a different way. Maybe they build railways through railways. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta stop for booze before I go do art with my mom today. Thanks for reminding me to get booze, says to the person. Damn, why not on top of the mountain? I think it's a matter of efficiency, probably a little bit. Nobody wants to go up and down. And maybe it's like a machinery thing. I don't know if machines want to lay roads on a slope. You know, it's easier to lay a road on something flat. Later in South Africa, I don't drink and drive. Drinking alcohol and smoking is not cool. This is true. Can you drive? I do have a license. You're right, kid. It's not super cool. Is it play to drive? Is it okay to drive without a license? No. Technically, it's not. You'll get in trouble. Not drive, dive. I kind of laughed because I thought you were talking about Subnautica. Then, my favorite thing is drinking and playing Mario Kart. What's my favorite thing? I think my favorite thing is finding a spot and being quiet in it. I have been exploring this world. There's a few spots that I like, that I keep going back to. I'm there right now in my mind. And then I just remain quiet. My mind is so quiet as well in those spaces. Nothing to do but to be. Feeling that power, right? Skrillex drinks and smokes. He's pretty cool. Skrillex just became 30% less cool in my mind. But I'm 16 and I drive. Luckily, it's a good looking car the cops aren't after. Lucky for you. Lucky. Yeah. Driving can be very meditative. I have a love-hate relationship with driving, I think. It's one of those things that I almost exclusively want to be doing if I'm in a car. I don't really like being driven that much. I've been letting myself enjoy getting driven by Joe because I can't drive here just yet. Or at least I don't think I can. Let me see. Let me confirm my suspicions. Can I drive with a South African license in America? First word.
Yes, you can drive in the United States with...
Nice. With a valid South African driver's license, but there are a few important rules to keep in mind depending on whether you are visiting or moving there. If you're a tourist, something, something, something. If you're moving, there's a grace period. Most states require you to apply for a local state driver's license within 30 to 90 days of becoming a resident. Then there's testing. Unlike some European countries, the US does not have a license exchange agreement with South Africa. This means you will likely have to pass the local written knowledge test and road skills test to get your American license. However, if you're just visiting, most major rental companies will accept your South African license, but some may resist. Cool. Yeah. Of course, the right hand traffic is going to be a change. Automatic cars. The vast majority of cars are automatic. Okay, yeah. I learned on a stick shift, but I like driving a manual too. Automatic too. Turning right on a red. Yep. In most US states, you can legally turn right on a red after coming to a complete stop, unless the sign says otherwise. And then speed limits are miles per hour, and distances are in miles. It's so cool. I can technically drive. Hmm. I think I can only technically drive if I'm a visitor. But since I moved here, I'm not allowed to. Okay. Mm. Some may resist. What a weird way to say it. That's the way I titled it. The exact line is zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. Most major rental companies, Hertz and Avis, etc., will accept your South African license, but some may resist. I'm just bad at reading. My bad, Dan. It says some may insist on seeing an IDP, which is an international driving permit. Oopsie. Reading is hard, okay? It's freaking hard reading. Damn it. Stem jy saam Suid-Afrikaanse vroue is van die mooiste vrouens in die wêreld. Is jy Afrikaans? Dog Huga? My vraag lyk vir my soos Afrikaanse ene. My favorite thing is the Pringles Super Stack, 30% more per can. You see, I don't think I believe you, Dad. I heard someone tell me your favorite thing is Swagger. The jumbo tube. The 32 ounce Swagger tube is your favorite. As enough protein for your daily needs. You just have to drink one 32-ounce tube of swag, and then you're set for the rest of your life because you died. I'm sorry. I need to stop. Smoking and drinking is for rich. Otherwise, it's a waste of money. It's a waste of money even if you're rich. What if I use autopilot on Tesla? Is it illegal when I don't have a license? Technically, yes. I don't think there's like full legalities just yet for self-driving cars. Maybe eventually. It would be cool if a parent can just put their child in their, smart car, and then the car drives them to where they're supposed to go. And the car goes and picks them up afterwards. Might be a little bit impersonal, but sometimes parents have other things to do, right? And their kid still has to get somewhere. So I'm sure that will be a thing eventually. I'm not a fan of driving. I'm all about that public transport. I think I would like having access to proper public transport and infrastructure. However, I would like being able to take my EUC with me on said public transport and then ride wherever I wanted to go afterwards. I remember my life before the wheeze. It was a constant pain. I had tried literally everything, sort of a ritual trepanning. Nothing worked. The weeps entered my life and everything got better. For me, it was a matter of like sleeplessness and self-critical thinking, right? I hated myself so much as a teenager. And as an extension, I hated everyone else. So much hatred. So much this world is not okay. And I don't want to be in it. Right? And I was on a bunch of antidepressants. I tried the different types. There's like a few different, like I don't know if schedules is the right word, but branches maybe. Different type of branches that act in similar but a little bit different ways. I had to try all of them. They would not react well with me. And then one night after I woke my parents with night terrors, where I was basically just screaming. I was asleep, but I was screaming so loud that they found me and had to wake me up by touching my body. I think my dad might have poured cold water over me or something, even. It was some weird shit. They took me to the doctor again and was like, "Oh, I don't think this medication is working." And then that same doctor is the one who recommended the wheeze. Was like, "Well, we've given you all of the drugs. Have you considered something else?" And my dad was so shocked to hear that. Oh, Duck Dad is here. I've been thinking about you, Duck Dad. It's nice having you. Butt farts and geese eggs. I have to go clear invasion buckthorn. I have to go clear invasive buckthorn today to stop them from crowding out desirable trees. 38 is about perfect. Yeah, like you can keep pushing yourself and it's not going to be hot. Mel, check your Discord. Messages later. I'm interested to hear your take on my Dynavap design modification. Let's see what he's talking about. Did I finish my point? What point was I making? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll just finish it by saying, and then I did. I took my doctor up on his suggestion to find a different medicine. And then I started sleeping properly. And when I started sleeping properly, slowly but surely, my hatred for myself and society subsided as well. And it was during that time of my life as well that I realized how important sleep is because I was pretty much an insomniac too. I don't really think I was insomniac, but I would average like 2 to 3 a.m. sleep times, and then I would wake up at 6 a.m. to go to school again. I was not okay. I was very not okay at that point in my life. Let's see. Let's see what was sent. There's Duck Dad. What am I looking at? What am I looking at right now? What happened to your Dynavap cap? Oh, it's on the end. It's another one? You have another cap? That looks like another cap. This is interesting. I don't have, I don't do design on CAD, but I build from shit. I was laying around. I have laying around any day. Check this out, dude. I prototyped it. My seals aren't perfect, but the draw was functional. And there is a very tiny piece of very inexpensive gauze inside a Dynavap cap that I cut the tip off of. I then used a piece that you look at the little piece of metal in the tip. That's the thing that my mind is curious about. Inexpensive gauze, look above. Used a piece of rubber mouthpiece that I had in a different unit, and this is totally going to work. Just have to figure out the materials I want to use. I thought I had a picture of it, just me folding the piece of gauze over the opening looked like, and was surprised how much gunk is going into your lungs. I mean, technically that's not gunk. That's the that's the first thing that my mind goes into, Duck Dad. That golden kind of like yellowy resin that your cap is or your modification is catching, that is technically the stuff you want, technically. And your body is very capable of absorbing that stuff, right? As soon as it goes dark, like black or like any color that's not like golden yellow or like honey, that's when you have a problem because then it's getting carcinogenic. Oh, blushing in the sky, sent me love. I'll accept this request. Yeah. Has it been helping? Has it been like making your body feel better? That's the first thing that I'm curious about. Is like how has your experience been? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. That's not okay. Who cares if they resist? Most people don't know this, but in the US, red lights are totally optional. They're mostly just a suggestion. That's true? Wow. All of those like numbers that they go like speed limit and then they put number, that's like, like the minimum you're supposed to drive. It's like they limit you. They say like don't drive underneath that big number they say, right? That would mean did you bribe to get your license? No, I didn't have to. But technically, you could consider it. You could think that. I had to do my license twice because the first time that I did it, I failed, and then the second time that I did it, I bought some food for myself, and then I went and did my license. And while I was doing my test, I was asking questions. I was like asking my instructor if he had any kids, and how old they were, and you know, stuff like that. And then after I had already passed at this point. I offered him the rest of the food that I had, right? Because I barely touched it. I like got it for myself on the way to the test, and I thought I was gonna eat it, waiting for my turn, and then there was nobody before me, and then I did it earlier than I had scheduled to do it, and then I had this food afterwards, and I was kind of like nauseous just with all of the pressure. And then I'm like, "You want this?" And he goes, "Yeah, I want that." And then he takes the food, and this is the part where I feel like it was kind of bribey, right? Because like I had already passed, full disclosure, but then he went to the licensing office with me, and he got me to cut the line. Like he was like told his friends at the licensing office, is like, help this guy out. He's a nice guy. And then I cut the entire line to get my license. Right. So that I feel like that might be a little bit sketchy, but the actual licensing process, I'm fair and square. I know how to parallel park. I know how to get a manual car revved up to have enough torque to accelerate over an incline. Same thing with a decline. I can reverse into tight spots. All right, like I think I'm a fine driver. Notice how I said fine. I don't think I'm a good driver. I've never been in a crash, which I think is good enough, but yeah, fine is adequate. Now then, trying to get into a hot pursuit. We create an extra wide swagger tube and call it Swag Earth. Yes, that is it. For those who have more needs, get yourself a Swag Earth. What is up, beautiful people? Duck Dad. Ugh, that's not okay. No, kid. Drinking 3 cans of Monster. Did you have a pistol? Have you spent much time in the bush? Yes, I have spent a lot of time in the bush. Uh, I've probably legitimately spent more time in the actual bush field than I've spent in a city, right? Relatively. Like by a large margin, like 10x bush time, 1x city time kind of thing. I did live in a city 3 times for a total of I think like 3 years, maybe four, between 3 and 4 years, and then the rest of my time has been spent pretty much outside. Dream Tooth is here with us, talking about a nice watch, I think. Yes, because we talked about watches earlier. I'm pretty sure that Hoopy, when he tunes into these streams, he always makes sure to watch the stream from the start. And Hoopy might be hearing me say this afterwards, way later, and he'll probably sometimes he'll say something in the comment section. Hey Hoopy, love you, bro. Yes, but you would. But why would you create a whole line of extra large yogurt tubes when they could only be in Biggie Blueberry then? That's funny. Is there any other people that have like big in their name? There's a bunch of littles. We can have like little sample packs as well, where all of the little rappers are on there. I'm like trying to think about a single one of their names, and I'm like, is Little Yachty one of them? I know Little Dicky is as one. I need an extra dose of gut health goodness. Grab hold of a Swaggart. Swaggart products and services. New extra wide tube of Swaggart. Extra wide, extra wild tube of Swaggart. We got Moon Knight here as well, saying the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have a promise to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Ik mis die braaivlees. Ek ook. Ek mis biltong en droewors. I have to go. Clear. I think I've read that one. Bless you again. I checked the Discord. Can I take you shopping? I don't think you have any money, bruh. Your intentions aren't right indeed. Do not play that message, please. I have no idea what other ramblings were. Was there a message? Plays the message loud. Loud and proud. Listen to Duck Dad. Now everybody laugh. Oh, love is true. We're not that far away, Duck Dad. I'm super happy that we got to see you when we came through to Chicago. I already do want to spend more time with you friends as well. Get you some new fits. There is not enough weeps on the planet to stop my hatred for society, but I push along. You just have to find some quiet inside yourself. Duck Dad, I'm just yelling no in my truck. My anxiety, I'm feeling of you. Playing that message is like 5,000%. Chillax. Breathe. No stress needs to be had. That would be a little bit awkward listening to a voice note. Try Clove. I would love to go shopping with you, D. Nice. My friend, I have had CT scans and I've had chronic bronchitis for 6 months. Yep. That buildup is not good for us. The bronchitis. Yeah. I don't know how much it is you're smoking. Or maybe my lungs are just resilient. Or maybe going from regular, like almost like once a day kind of smoking habit to no smoke, actual smoke whatsoever. Like that contrast was so sharp that I didn't have the same kind of problems afterwards. But I do feel you. I do try and keep it clean at least. I got 1.2k views, Melty. Nice, Tristan. Nice, nice. Growing, bro. Keep growing. It's nice having you here, Tristan. Sending you love, bro. Appreciate you sharing your good news with us too. Where and when? I was a nervous driver when practicing. My armpits were like waterfalls. I had that. I don't know. I think I pretty much had that same experience. I think it was also a very hot day in South Africa, so that didn't help. I got 1.2k views. You're in Singapore? That's cool. See you in 3 years. Hello, everyone. Darren is here with us too. I'm literally so obsessed with YouTube now. Welcome, Tristan. Welcome. The bug has bitten you. I'm sure you have your YouTube studio as well, right? Where you can get all of your datas. Statistics. Get your statistics. My statistics definitely did explode and then got pulled back a little bit. We did 9.5 thousand more views than we usually do in like 28-day frame. And then YouTube had a conniption fit about it and was like, oh my goodness, that's too much views. And it kind of like got cut a little bit. Still seems like there's an upwards trajectory if I have to look at the larger scheme of things. But it might take a little bit of time. I have noticed that there is a lot to be a lot to be felt, and being quiet inside yourself about that whole data fractal, it's messed with me more than I feel like it's served me, at least in my life. For the most part, I'm gonna lift you up a little bit and then drop you back down. Cool. Kind of hot actually. Like I'm maybe drinking this coffee fast. I think that's exactly what's happening. It's not even 11 yet and most of it's done. Melt and I were cavemen who used to live in caves, but one day Melt ditched me and we went apart. Friends turned into enemies. It's true. It's true what Moon Knight said. We were cave dwellers. And then he betrayed me. He betrayed me. And I could never forgive him. You want to know what he did? You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe what he did in that cave. All right? We had like the main cave, and then we had like small little mini nook where we would like make fires sometimes, to stay warm. And then Moon Knight farted really loud, you know, and basically exploded us inside there because of the fire, of course. And then we like had our eyebrows singed, completely off our faces. And then I was like, no more living in a cave with you, Moon Knight. True story. That happened really at some point. Meldy, did you beat Subnautica? I did. I did actually beat Subnautica. I whoosh, went out into space. I haven't played the second one yet. I just got the blueprint for the submarine thingy. Nice. What's YouTube Studio? I also have 16 subs now, Melty. Nice. 16 whole people, bro. Can you imagine 16 people in this room with you, all being like, nice, Tristan. Nice. Remember that, bro. Don't get stuck in needing more and more views. Realize that a single view is a whole person who could have done anything. There's like infinity out here for us to do, and they chose to watch your video. All right, honor their time in that way. YouTube Studio is essentially a data portal. It gives you access to all of your stuff. Gives you access to a lot of your stuff and the perspectives that come with it. All right, see how your data is affected when you do certain things as well. It's actually, Dan says, the exact story I have, but my former CNN news anchor, Don Lemon. It's a caveman betrayal story, just like you, Moon. You see, I'm sure all of us probably have a caveman betrayal story somewhere tucked away in the recesses of our minds that we have forgotten. Because how dare we be born modern humans? Dark Dad is chilling. I'm still waiting for Gabadygoo to join us. If he joins us, I'm gonna read his whole dream because it's way more weird than it seemed yesterday. Like, this dream was very strange. There's Subnautica Sub-Zero, and they just announced Subnautica 2 for later this year. I was about to say, Sub-Zero is the next one, but number 2 is coming soon as well, you're right. Mr. Danner, you a news reporter. No, he's what we call a caveman. Namoon, but Don Lemon and I have been feuding for centuries. It's true. Caveman betrayal. It's the ultimate betrayal. All right. There's like, other kinds of betrayal, business, getting frauded, your best friend, making another best friend. That one is rough. But the farting and then exploding and then singeing your eyebrows betrayal, that's the worst one. He tried to kill my firstborn. Also, of course, by farting and exploding the cave. You know, Firstborn also had its eyebrows singed, but made it out at least. Thank goodness. I'm drinking this coffee so fast. And it's heating up my insides, but I'm not stopping. It is 10. Nice. Coffee drank sooner than later. Melt, that was supposed to be a secret between us both. Well, I'm outing you, Moon Knight. Everybody needs to know the extremes of your betrayal. Your poor self-control when it comes to your flatulence. Like I'm like, in a way, there's a quietness in me in saying all these things. I don't know if it's translating onto stream. Sorry, I'm late for stream. I was making a backup costume for a Coastal Comic Con in case my Ghostface costume doesn't work out. That's cool, Trey Hodges. That's pretty cool. Ghostface killer. We got Russell here too. Hope you friends have fun with your Coastal Comic Cons. Aware of all the awarenesses. That's what this flower was titled as. No poem alongside it, but that's the art. Are you aware of all of your awarenesses? Have you realized how many things you are aware of, and how being aware of all of these things makes you aware of more? Things have changed, Melt and I are now good friends. It's true. Yeah. I've forgiven him eventually for, oh, my heart dies. Oh, that's cute. I forgave him eventually. Look at those heart eyes. Boom. Heartsies. Yes. Going as Dustin Hoffman version of Captain Hook if Ghostface costume doesn't fit. Captain Hook is pretty cool. I found Captain Hook pretty cool. I don't think he was supposed to be cool to me as a kid. I think he was supposed to be a loser. He was someone who stayed in Neverland, right? He wanted to not grow up and then he stayed. Or maybe he was already an adult when he got there and just wanted to stay young. Man, I like this flower. It has such interesting little swoopy-swoopies. Hey Moon, friends, below and below. That art is dope. It's like a surrealist fractal. I'm happy you think so, friend. I do like to call them my fractal flowers. I make one of these every day, Russell. This was yesterday's. And this was the day before. And the day before that. Oh, man, my colors are not showing up the way they're supposed to. There we go. Alright, day before that, and day before that, and day before that. And I've been doing that for... Why are you not loading? There we go. I've just been doing it for days upon days. Whoa! That's not my art. I mean, there's like some photos in there too, but that wasn't my original folder that I was showing you. 1,518 flowers. Each of those are 15 megabytes a pop. So it does take my poor device some time to populate them. Chunk. Right? It's just like so much data stuck in these little flowers. I do like making these. And I like it especially sharing with you friends. I have shown you a flower. I have told you to consider all of the things you are aware of. Captain Hook is the real hero. That's a hot take. Hook was a lost boy that Peter brainwashed from never going to see his mother ever again. Ooh, maybe he did return eventually and his mother had already passed. Returned of a vengeance. Angry at Peter Pan. I'm gonna pull as a card. And then it's going to be time for us to say goodbye. Having had a quiet stream, I am in that space where I'm like hot on the inside and it's making me sweat a little bit, and then the sweat is cooling me down again. When are you coming to Afghanistan? As soon as I have an opportunity to. As soon as I have an opportunity to, that would be something I'd like to do. No one will ever be as great as Captain Jack Sparrow. I do like Jack Sparrow as a character, to be honest. All right. It is now time for one of you friends to tell me when to stop. And then as soon as I see a stop in chat, I will do so. And then whatever card I see, whatever card I'm touching will be the one that I pick. Stop. Thank you, Russell. That's very nice of you. Ooh. Whoa. That's so trippy. That is so trippy. I gave a coin away yesterday. I'll show you which coin I gave away, because we have more in the home. I made sure to find one for Jo as well when she was here. But this is what it looks like. I gave this coin yesterday to Braden. It's Kelsey's son, Siobhan's best friend's boy. I was like, hey dude, you want a coin from South Africa? And he goes, yeah. And then I give him one of these. You see that? It's a whale mother and her calf, right? How trippy is that? A whale mother and her calf. Give coin away? And literally the next day, I pull Infinite Wisdom. Well, you helped me, Russell. We pulled Infinite Wisdom. It's one of my favorite cards in the whole deck as well. It's such a beautiful card. It talks about the denizens of the deep. Okay, you friends ready for this reading? What a trip. I'm like really goosebumpy. Like, I gave away a coin like that yesterday, and it hurt me to do so. I didn't actually, part of me didn't want to do it because I like those coins. I knew that we had some at home. That's why I was willing to give mine away. But I had one in my wallet, not to spend as money, but to have as nice. Oh, Gobbity Goo is here. I was waiting for you, Gobs. Before I read the card, I'm going to read Gob's dream, because it didn't come through in the chat yesterday properly. Some parts of it was being boyeted. So now I can actually read the dream in completeness. Thank you, G4W Dan, I think. Yeah, G4. Is that you, Dan? Did you do that for makeup brush? I think I do have like filter options. I can hit this button and now it retouches me, suddenly smooths my skin, but I don't have that turned on. Turn it off again. You can see my pimples. I can green screen myself. Yes, put yesterday's lake photos behind me. It's so bad, but this is what I saw last night. Well, yesterday evening. It was Butamouse. Maybe I'll do this one. Nay. Yeah. Oh, it's getting the couch in as well. Very fun, very nice. Put trees behind me. Look at the water through the trees. Sure, that can be done. And then there's effect pickers, where I can, I think, literally put makeup on my face. Yeah. No. I think the makeup, seems the makeup effects got yeeted. Guess I can't put makeup on my face. I can give myself 4 eyes. I don't know why they would let me do that. But they do. They do let me do that. All right. Gobbity-goo. With my 4 eyes, I'm now going dope. I rented a gas-powered tiller, fixing to fuck up my flower beds. I love you, handsome man. Thank you, bro. Getting more makeup brush. I don't need makeup. I need 2 pairs of shades for all of my eyes. I think this could have been a better effect if this eye was just a little bit higher instead of like being next to my nose like that. It's so fucking strange. So strange. It messes with me too. Maybe it's supposed to mess with all of us. What lake? Patoka Lake. My son is building with Legos and just made a whale too. That's pretty cool. You got a synchronicity on your side too, Russell. I love that. All right. Now we're gonna read Gobbledygoo's message. I became lucid in my REM sleep and flew to New York City. There was a parade. I was attracted to a float that was a dragon with eyes made of static electricity. You have to be within 2 inches of cam for filter, I think. Maybe. I'm pretty far away from camera right now. It keeps bringing my eyes lower. You need to bring these eyes like a little bit higher, bro. Bring these eyes. Bring these eyes up. I can stop. It's messing with me. So I fly down to observe this dope float just as electricity arcs and immediately scorches a man to death with very high current, I assume. People exclaiming, Greg! No, Greg! His body made a final few movements. I observed his chest rise and fall a couple of more times. The majority of the heat was in his chest, glowing orange. I suppose I watched him die, but had no emotional reaction to it. I felt like watching a movie. A meteorite type of rock levitated from his crispy corpse up towards my awareness. And then a piece of that rock broke off, and glowed bright white and overwhelmed my vision, waking me up. And here we are. And here we are. Present again. That is a pretty wild dream. Gobs. We did have a conversation, I think, the day before about dying a little bit. And there was something in me communicating a certain unattachment, right? Like a death. Someone getting scorched by electricity. Was a cool dream. Sounds pretty cool. Seeing something like that in person like that must have been quite stark. Like, what am I witnessing? Or quite the contrary. It's like, just like, I'm witnessing. Rest in peace, Greg. May you rest in pieces. Literally. Because a piece of him floated off of him. All right. Thanks for your light, Greg. True. Bright light got shone. Woke you up. Brought you into the real world again. I'm gonna take these 4 eyes off of me. I think it's messing with me. Hey, John. You took a nap? I'm like feeling I have to go to the bathroom to create highlight lighting. Relight on. Does this thing? Nice. Adds even more lighting to my scene. Maybe I'll use that again. What do you think? More light or less light? I don't mind it actually. Retouch is still off and the effects picker. Yeah, let's do kaleidoscope. This card is this one. Very cool. Infinite Wisdom, it's titled as. Let's see what it says. Whales are denizens of the deep, caretakers of oceanic wisdom, and record keepers for planet Earth. They communicate by means of songs, stories, and telepathy. Whales remember how to travel with grace of movement over thousands of miles, following ancient migration routes. The 4 horizontal figure 8s or Mobius strips. You see it? Going through the scene from top to bottom. The 4 Mobius strips Creating figure eights suggests that there is wisdom greater than time and depth. It is infinite wisdom. Pulling this card could find you seeking a measure of wisdom to help you comprehend a situation. Something does not make sense, and you are having difficulty understanding why events are occurring as they are. Quiet your thoughts and allow your consciousness to float in this fluid blue ocean. Tune into the wisdom the humpback mother and calf embody. You may want to trace an infinity symbol on your forehead or palm, or move your hands in a flowing figure eight to help you connect with this infinite wisdom. Telepathically plug in to the records kept by these ancient cetaceans. Ask this infinite source to offer you the wisdom you require to bring greater understanding to your thoughts. If your inquiry is not one of confusion, this card confirms that you are indeed in touch with insight and good judgment, and you may be assured that your decisions will be sound. Celebrate your own wisdom. Celebrate your own wisdom. Today's stream topic was about the power of quiet. And I did share it from this perspective of trying to share a certain type of wisdom. That there's a wisdom, there's a power in allowing yourself to be quiet every now and then. And then pulling this card with the synchronicity of having given away that coin, making it feel like I had some sort of access to the infinite wisdom and giving that coin away so that I can make this moment more special to me. 1 in 64 chance. The odds are low. And the odds was accentuated by giving you friends the chance to give me a stop. And then we had a new friend, Russell, joining us for today's stream. I don't think you've been here before, Russell. I don't even know if you're here right now. And then he's the one who says stop. And then while he told me to stop, his son had built a Lego figure of a whale as well. That's so wild. That's too wild. That's too many synchronicities for it to just be coincidence, right? Swimming with the whales in the ocean. Putting myself in direct connection with infinite wisdom. I am connected to 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 infinite wisdom. Okay. It is time for us to say goodbye. I thank you, friends, for joining me. It's a pleasure having you here. On another day, having had the opportunity to share, not in quiet, but in this space. I feel like I've been trying to keep it as quiet and gentle as possible, and you friends have been a pleasure to be here with. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you again tomorrow, okay? Bye, everyone. Love your friends.